Welcome inside a snowy Southside Ice Arena. Well, at least outside it's snowy. Inside it's icy as your Catholic Central Cougars are back on home ice to take on the Grand Rapids Christian Eagles in the annual Thanksgiving Eve showdown. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. I apologize for not being able to broadcast last weekend, as I was just saying to someone here on Press Row. Yeah, last week was rough. Not a lot of vocal cord ability, shall we say. They were the flesh was willing, or no, the spirit was willing, but the flesh was certainly weak in that case, if I can get my biblical cliche correct. But anyway, your Cougars went 1-1 last weekend on the road as they fell at Forest Hill Central 4-0, but then they got the shutout the very next night down in Jackson against Lumen Christi. So Catholic Central starting the head coach Kyle Marchand era with a record of 1-2. They're in 7th place currently in the OK Conference Roo Division as they welcome the division rival Christian Eagles, who are off to a great start for their longtime head coach Sean Zimmerman. The Eagles are 3-1, second place in the Roo behind only Caledonia, and the Eagles have reeled off 3 wins in a row. However, 2 of those wins came last week against squads from across the state as the Eagles beat Allen Park and Wyandotte Roosevelt by a combined score of 14-5. So the Eagles are putting some goals on the board. They did beat Reese Puffer 5-4 the previous weekend in Muskegon, and that followed up a 7-3 loss in the season opener to West Ottawa at home. So the Eagles on a good run here, but they will face the Cougars in a game that's always competitive, and Catholic Central coming off of its best performance out of 3 so far this season. Senior goalie Jacob Aaron got the shutout, his 5th career blanking of an opposing team, as he helped Catholic Central shut down Lumen Christi. Catholic Central got goals from only defensemen against Lumen Christi. Noah Onstad scored his 2nd goal of the season already. Parker Moore connected for his 1st career tally at the high school level, as well as Morgan Pastelli. He scored his 1st goal as a Cougar as he made the move to high school hockey this season as a senior. So Pastelli, Moore, and Onstad all scoring for Catholic Central. As of this point, the only forwards to score so far for the Cougars in their first 3 games, well, it's the players you would suspect. Isaac Kappinga, the captain, the returner, he has a goal. So does Cooper Moss, who had 16 goals last year to pace Catholic Central. So those 2 have scored, but Catholic Central still looking for some more support from the rest of the lineup, especially at the forward spot. One of the reasons Grand Rapids Christian is off to such a nice beginning to their 2025-26 season is that they have added Kenowa Hills as one of the schools under their co-op arrangement, and a couple of those players in Jaden Rockwell and Theo Partridge are among their top scorers. In fact, those 2 are their top 2 scorers. Partridge, who had 15 points all of last year for Kenowa Hills, has 13 already for the Christian Eagles, including a team best 6 goals. And Jaden Rockwell, who had 24 points to lead, was 2nd place on Kenowa Hills last season. He has 9 points already, including 4 goals. And I mentioned the Eagles have been filling the net so far. Their lowest output in a game so far this season was 3 on opening night in that loss to West Ottawa. Meanwhile, Catholic Central, well, they're trying to get that offense revved up, like I mentioned, as they scored 3 in their opening loss to Riverview, Gabriel Richard, before falling 4-0 to Forest Hill Central, as I mentioned, and then the 3-0 blanking of Jackson Lumen Christi. This begins a 2-game week for your Cougars as they'll go to Patterson on Saturday to face the, as of now, winless Forest Hills Northern and Eastern Bird Dogs. Time for the opening prayer and the Star Spangled Banner back in a moment on Cougar Puck Radio for the Drop of the Puck.
Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute. And everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we play our national anthem.
All right, just about set for the opening face-off. Again, great to be back at Southside. It is a blustery night, as you probably know. If you're anywhere around the Midwest, and especially here in West Michigan, we could be looking at, depending on your location, upwards of a foot of snow over the next, 24 to 36 hours. Happy Thanksgiving. That's one way to put it. Big thank you to Mike McLean and Jen Reynolds for helping to get things all set up on the logistics side. We tried to stream without commentary last week, me remotely trying to text in and see if we could figure it out. Didn't quite work out. So, hope we don't have to worry about that contingency in the future throughout the course of this season. I'll have both games for you this week on Cougar Puck Radio, tonight's and also Saturday's game at Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. Well, the Christian Eagles, fortified by some Kenowa Hills additions. They're looking to make it a 4-1 start. Meanwhile, Catholic Central trying to level their record at 2-2. There's the drop of the puck, and this Thanksgiving Eve annual showdown has begun. Catholic Central in the home white jerseys, all iced out, as Jacob Aaron has to make a quick save. I'm not sure that shot was actually on target, but he decided to pin down the puck at the side of his net and get the whistle. The game nets are looking especially pristine. Speaking of pearly white, not a lot of puck marks on the netting in behind both goalies. And by the way, the starting goalie for Christian is Gabe DeCoster, who has a 2-1 record, but only a .766 save percentage so far this season. DeCoster wearing number 35. Jacob Aaron in the Catholic Central net, number 31. And Aaron with a record of 1-2 this season, the lone goalie on the roster, as he was last year too. .811 save percentage, 3.33 goals against average this season for his career, .893 save percentage, and a 10-15 record. And the puck again lifted out of play. It ends up in the screen on the near wing side. With the win, his first as the head coach of the Cougars, Kyle Marchand's career record is now 27-28. He formerly coached his alma mater, Fenton, for a couple of seasons. Off the turnover, Christian goes to work and spun back to the near side by Theo Partridge. Off the wall, at the half wall, and it's coughed up in the middle by Graham Bean, the veteran D-man. He lofted it to center. Onstott gloved it down and scooped up by Christian's Carter Dahlquist, a newcomer. Dahlquist pass up the far wing, galloping out of his own end, Theo Partridge, one of those Kenowa Hills players who's now part of the Christian family. A shot and a glove save by Aaron on Jaden Rockwell, another one of those former Kenowa Hills Knights. Rockwell has 4 goals and 9 total points on the year. Partridge, as I mentioned in the pregame, 6 goals and 13 total points. The top returning scorer for Christian is Cash Loffer. He had 22 points last season as the face-off win by Christian, but they can't get the shot toward the net. Catholic blocked it down. Catholic Central versus Christian. Every night before Thanksgiving they get together. It's a fantastic Michigan high school hockey tradition as Pistelli, under pressure from Cash Loffer, passed it over to his D partner, that is Parker Moore, who scored his first varsity goal last time out against Lumen Christi. The Cougars have to retrieve. It's Pistelli one more time. Pistelli confronted by Bierlein, who tries to pull the puck loose from the near wing corner. Gage Potter, the freshman, standing sentry, waiting for that puck to come loose. It won't. His brother Cohen helps free it up. And here's Moore with some room, using that space, and now cutting inside over the red line. Parker Moore chases it in after to the left corner. Popped loose by Cohen Potter. Played it back to an open point. Pistelli had drifted toward the middle, so he's got to go retrieve back in his own end. Lead pass to Potter. Takes it out of his skates. Takes a bump and keeps on moving as he was hit by Konstantin Kim, the veteran Christian Eagle. Loose biscuit. Garrett Majewski reversed it around the far wing, and there's Ethan Newman. Newman bumps into Jack Reynolds of Catholic Central. Stepping up to try to lay a hit was Caleb McLean. But the play back into the Catholic Central end. Ten Harmsel blew a tire trying to stop and turn back the other way. McLean bodied by a couple of Eagles over there. 14 and a half minutes to go in the first period. No score. Fourth game of the season for Catholic Central. Fifth game of the year for Christian. And no matter who you're rooting for, hope that you're safe tonight. Hope you enjoy the holiday week as Reynolds bangs it off the near side. Wood. That's picked up by Theo Partridge on the move. But his pass was intercepted by Jackson Dozema. Couldn't get it that deep into the zone. Now he gets a second chance at it and softly finesses it into the corner. Oliver Ames reversed it. Onstadt read the play beautifully for Catholic Central. Onstadt battling physically in the corner. Cooper Moss joins in to try to help out. He gets the puck free, but it's right to an Eagle, and that's Theo Partridge. But he turned it over to Carson Carlander, who skies it right back into Eagles real estate. Both teams changing. We skate 5-on-5, no penalties yet in this game. Sam DeYoung escapes. Good lead pass right on the tape of Jaden Rockwell. In over the line, Rockwell centering and nudged just wide by Dane Fitzgibbon. Big body, tough to move him. He's right in front of the net right now as the shot comes through, but it's blocked. Capping it takes, and we do have our first penalty. 3 minutes and 51 seconds into the action. It's slashing, and I think it's against Catholic Central. Yes, the home penalty box is open, and the Cougars will go short, and it's Morgan Pistelli, the senior D-man, having a seat. Two-game week for Catholic Central, like I mentioned. Then the following weekend, they'll participate in the West Michigan Hockey Showcase at Patterson Ice Arena. As for right now, trying to kill off the penalty. As the Eagles control, that's Partridge. Getting a lot of playing time here. Partridge, who traded in the black and gold of Kenowa Hills for the Columbia blue and black of Christian. Sent it into the corner. Onstadt pitchforks it, couldn't get it out. Pinching in DeYoung. He'll shoot toward the net. That's blocked. Capping got in the way of that, and the Cougars lifted off the rink and out into the screen on the far side. 12:36 to go in the first. 1:28 remaining on the power play. The Christian Eagles ended the Cougars' season last year. Bitter memory, as it always is, for those who return. That was in the regional semifinal up at Big Rapids at the home of the Ferris State University Bulldogs. Vigleben Arena. That's where the Eagles came back from 2-0 down in the first to win 5-2. Shot from DeYoung, blocked out high by Cooper Moss, but it hops right over to Partridge, who regathers on his backhand side. Partridge ducks in behind the net. Ten Harmsel pried it loose, but the Eagles maintain. It's Bean feeding it down low, right out in front of the net, and the shot was weakened on the way from Partridge and cleared by the Cougars. Never got through to Jacob Aaron, Catholic Central's netminder. Taken away by Cooper Moss. He's got a shorthanded goal already this year. Soft shot, and it ends up in the paraphernalia of Coster somewhere, and he hangs on with 11:50 to go in the period and just 41 seconds remaining on the Morgan Pastelli slashing minor. Big thanks to our generous sponsors for helping to bring you Catholic Central hockey for another season, season 52 in the history of the program. The gold sponsor, Inovia Wealth, as DeCoster pins it down again. Royal Blue sponsors, Chris Back, Fox Motors, Sharp Automotive, and 3-in-1 Solutions. And the Cougar level sponsors, BMD Capital Partners, Byrne Tool and Design, SRS Building Products, Moore & Sons Roofing, and Horizon Bank. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Back on the air, my 5th season calling the action, and taking over for the founder of the YouTube channel, Reagan Cleaves, who, by the way, is now a color analyst in the ECHL for the Kansas City Mavericks, also doing some sales and marketing for the squad. So congrats, Reagan, on the first job out of school. As the power play is down to 14 seconds left, the puck jumped into the Cougars bench. Reagan, in case you're wondering, went to Central Michigan University, where he was at least the part-time voice of the ACHA club team up there in Mount Pleasant. Parker Moore tries to hold the puck against the kick play. Can't do it. Bean centered out in front and shoved just wide on the one-timer by Jaden Rockwell. Point-blank range, but he missed the target. Graham Bean again. Power play's over. He corrals and feeds to the near corner. The Cougars get aggressive, realizing they're back to even strength, and it's flipped out by Pastelli. Here's Cooper Moss charging in, trying to make a pass to the middle for the on-charging Carlander, but it's intercepted by the Eagles' Rockwell. The Christian Eagles settle in behind their goal with 10:45 remaining in the first period. No goals on the board yet. Escaping DeYoung. Good pass to Cash Loffer. Loffer tries the right wing. Getting around the corner, put it right to the crease, and cleaned up beautifully by Parker Moore. And Moore gets his legs moving. He's feeling it early, skating the puck out of the zone quite a bit. Carlander joins the party. Onstad decides to back out as Cash Loffer had the puck at his stick and lifted it in behind the Cougars' net. Onstad delivering it over. Far wing, great move from Brady Colnon to create some time and space. His lead pass for Berkmeyer, though, was off a leg and right back to the Catholic Central line. Onstad charging down the right wing. He's rubbed out by Konstantin Kim. Far side tumbling down Fitzgibbon. It's loose to Colnon, and he keeps it alive in the attacking zone. Played it too hard for Levi Jensen to get to, and Ten Harmsel has to parade back for it. 9:42 to go in the first. Ten Harmsel right into the teeth of that neutral zone forecheck, but he bumped it ahead, and Berkmeyer sends in deep. Centering pass, swatted away by the goalie DeCoster. Jensen twisting a pass in front that's deflected high into the air. Colnon sends it below the dots. Berkmeyer stepped up, couldn't keep it alive, and Ten Harmsel unable to knock the puck out of midair. Pastelli chasing back. This game was scheduled for an 8 o'clock start, so it might be a bit of a late arriving crowd. They bumped that up to 7:20 to try to beat some of the weather. Also some of that Thanksgiving Eve traffic, which could be funneling toward, shall we say, the social district downtown as the night goes along. Lead pass, Ethan Newman. Dish to the corner. Pastelli trying to find the escape hatch. He'll lay it around to Ten Harmsel. Over to the far wing. Can Gage Potter get it out? He can't. So Ten Harmsel has to try again. Turns, feeds. There's Potter again. Holding onto the puck and flipped it right past the head of DeYoung, and all the way down it goes for an icing against Catholic Central with 8:33 remaining in the opening period. I also want to give a quick shout to the new PA announcer here at Southside Ice Arena, Doug France. The timekeeper's Kate Elliott. Got a couple of photographers at it this year, Jeremy Dozema and Lynn Ten Harmsel. Jeremy took some awesome shots at Lumen Christi, if you haven't seen those on Facebook and Instagram. Potter kicks it out to the blue line, but holding it in, Oliver Ains, who had 14 points from the blue line last year. and already off to a 4-assist start in the first 4 of the season. Capping all over one of the Eagles there. That's Graham Bean. The puck floats out near the top of the zone, hammered right back in by Ains. Bean centered and intercepted by Cade Heminger, who came right down the slot to make sure that pass didn't connect to a young man in a black jersey. Christian in the black uniforms, Columbia blue trim, white helmets. The Cougars in the white jerseys, blue helmets, blue pants. Far wing pulling the trigger, Ruckwell, and Aaron has it covered, and he hangs on with the glove hand. 7:42 remaining in the opening period. Christian averaging over 4 goals per game. Catholic Central's gotten to 3 twice, sandwiching the shutout loss at Forest Hills Central last Friday. Rangers might be resurgent this year. They're ranked in Division I, snapped out of the air by Aaron. Little short hop play on the point drive from Sam DeYoung, who's already got 2 goals and 6 total points as a defenseman. Junior Sam DeYoung, still some room to grow, both literally and in terms of his hockey skills. Fitzgibbon smashes Moss into the wall. A couple of tough customers there. Onstraw trying to take the puck away, and does rip it free. Ten Harmsel, but his pass goes off a stick. Fitzgibbon trying to cut back. There's Dozema, though, helping out below the goal line. Shot score from the far side boards. It somehow hopped in. DeYoung fired it there. I think it was deflected in front, but I don't know by who. I think DeYoung's going to get credit for it, and boy, is he ever fired up. And it's 1-0 Grand Rapids Christian with 7:12 to go in the first. Even strength goal for DeYoung. Well, that hit something. Might have been friendly fire, in fact. Just the way DeYoung's reacting, I think it was off a Cougar and in. DeYoung's got his 3rd already in game number 5 from the blue line. Shot into traffic, and it just scooted under the pads of Jacob Aaron. Headman pass from Dahlquist. In over the Cougars line. Moore cleared. Banged right back behind the Catholic Central net. Pastelli churning those legs. Holding on to the puck. Good speed for Morgan Pastelli. Getting the Cougars into the attacking zone again. It's been a while since they've been down there to our left. Reynolds trying to shoot. That's off a skate. Behind the goal, Cohen Potter. He's got it surrounded. Potter got tripped up. Play continues on. Looked like a couple of legs came together there. Chase Mulvey tries to glove it down. Another Kennewa Hills player who's now part of the Christian Co-op, which includes several schools now. They've got Cedar Springs on board. Drew Bierlein gets the lone assist on the Sam DeYoung goal, by the way, as the Eagles are out to an early 1-0 lead. Pushing the pace back is Heminger, trying to get around the edge. Heminger with Gage Potter with him. Dished it back, Kevorkian shot, deflection save! Oh, what a stop on Cappinga by DeCoster, who had the glove in the perfect position. Cappinga tipped the shot from Alex Kevorkian up into the air, off the ice, but into the trapper of Gabe DeCoster, who makes easily his best save of tonight's game. 6:13 to go in the first. Remember that one. As I was saying earlier, the co-op for Grand Rapids Christian now includes Cedar Springs as well as Kennewa Hills. There's a couple others that are eligible but don't have any players. Other schools, I mean, don't have any players this year who wanted to join the Christian squad. Christian was hurting for numbers last year, so good to see the program revived in that way. They were essentially rolling a couple of lines last season, but still managed a 15-10-2 record, and they made it all the way to the region final. Still in football mode sometimes here. before they fell 5-0 to East Grand Rapids in the region final. The Pioneers winning the region here in Division III for the 4th straight year. Carlander deflects it ahead. He's in after it. Oliver Raines makes the play, though, handing it off to Caden Hoving. And the Eagles move it out through center. Kim down the near wall, but lost control to Dozema. 5 to go in the first. Ten Harmsel run off the puck, keeps going, though. Casey Ten Harmsel, the junior D, we're in 21 this year. And the puck slips by Dozema and out to center. Moore's got to go fish. He lifts it off the window. Ains, dangerous play, just off the side of his net. DeCoster had to be ready for that inadvertent shot toward his goal. Moss hooks it down below the goal line. Carlander tried to center, hit the outside of the frame. Moss digging in. Carlander joins the fray. On his backhand, coughed it up. Back Partridge for Christian. Partridge to the outside. Couldn't get the shot through. Good defending from Moore. Partridge makes the pass. It's deflected on its way out to Sam DeYoung, the goal scorer. And DeYoung couldn't get it in deep. Regroup for Christian. Graham Bean lost the puck as he was wedged off it. Under 4 to play in the period. Quick moving frame. Lead pass. McLean leaning in. And he couldn't get past Graham Bean. Or pardon, that was DeYoung actually, number 9. So DeYoung doing it at both ends of the ice in the first period. Moore lassos the puck out by the blue line. Moore, good feed to the overlapping Pastelli. Shooting, saved by DeCoster. Loose puck high in the slot. And gathered in by Rockwell. Couldn't clear. Caleb McLean again. Great hustle to keep the puck down to our left. Redirected out to center. And Christian gets a line change. Pastelli up ahead, off the stick of Potter. Watch out, it's Lawfer shooting. Great save by Aaron. Off his right pad, and then Potter's run off. That'll be a penalty against Christian. And Catholic Central to the power play for the first time tonight. 3:02 remaining in the period. So Cohen Potter draws the call. Kappinga, Moss, Carlander are the forwards. Onstad and Ten Harmsel are the defensemen on the 5-man unit for Coach Kyle Marchand. Carlander, top of the circle, cross ring pass, good one. Onstad firing, and he missed the goal in a bid for his 3rd goal of the season after he went last year without getting a single one. Backhanded out, though, by Drew Bierlein, and Christian gets the line change. The penalty, by the way, against Garrett Majewski for a tripping. Carlander gets it over the blue line, sends it deep. 2:29 to go in the first, but Christian spins it around the boards and out. Graham Bean took care of it this time. First power play of the night for Catholic Central. The Cougars have 2 shorthanded goals this year. Moss throwing it right through the slot. Kappinga couldn't get his stick free to tap it behind DeCoster. And again, the Cougars have to go chase. 1 minute gone on the power play. 2 to go in the first. Ten Harmsel into trouble. His pass away from Carlander's reach. Ains tried to get it out. That's off a stick. High into the air. Kappinga overlaps. And he closes the gap. He's got the puck. Working against Ains. Turning this way and that, but his pass to the far wing eludes the reach of Noah Onstad, and that forces Ten Harmsel to go back for it. Ten Harmsel controls the dump in from Christian, but errant pass, too far for Kappinga. No icing. Ruled that Dahlquist could have played it. See if the Cougars can take advantage of this. Pinned behind the goal is Graham Bean. Dahlquist can't launch it out. Centering play from Heminger hit a stick. Ends up in the near corner. 7 seconds to go on the power play. Pastelli bunting it toward the goal. Turning try from Gage Potter that was blocked and cleared one last time by the Eagles. That'll do it for the power play. Each side 0 for 1 on the advantage in the opening period. Pastelli with 54 seconds to go before the break. Reversed it near wing. Cohen Potter trying to chip it loose. Instead, Parker Moore emerges up the center of the ice. Takes the right turn and backhands it below the goal line. Shripka spun it up but not out. Heminger firing. Near corner it comes. Lively bounce off the boards. Another penalty against Christian as Potter drew another one. Tripping again against Grand Rapids Christian. And I think Sam DeYoung is the guilty man this time. So Potter doing the dirty work, drawing the calls and giving his teammates an opportunity to tie this game before the Zamboni comes out to do its work. 26 seconds left. The Cougars get an offensive zone draw. Kappinga against Graham Bean. Kappinga, the captain, wins it straight back. Ten Harmsel dishes over to Carlander. Back to Ten Harmsel. Turning, feeding. Carlander, far side pass. Onstad, shot toward the middle. And Moss got a piece, but it ended up in the corner. Down to 10 seconds. Moss pops it loose. Carlander returns it far side. Onstad lost control. And here's Graham Bean, number 3 in black. Elects not to shoot. He simply dumps in as we hear the buzzer ending period number 1. So Sam DeYoung gets the only goal of the opening 17 minutes, but the Cougars take a minute and a half worth of power play time into the second. This is Cougar Puck Radio from Southside Ice Arena. Thanksgiving Eve rivalry between Christian and Catholic Central. It's 1-0 Eagles so far. Stay with us. Music of Dire Straits welcomes us back on Cougar Puck Radio for the second period. Catholic Central still with 1 minute and 35 seconds to go on its second power play of the night, trailing at 1-0 against Grand Rapids Christian. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, as Chris Berman would say, and does say, every Sunday before Thanksgiving. Let me be among the first to wish you a happy holiday season. My son has become obsessed with NFL primetime to the point where he asked me if Chris Berman and Booger McFarland were living together. Interesting question. I don't think so, was my answer. Here's the drop of the puck, neither here nor there, certainly. Dumped in by Christian, and they're shorthanded, so no icing on the play, although I think Partridge was ahead of the red line anyway. Chasing to the near side corner is Casey Ten Harmsel. Speaking of my son Lucas, congrats to him on his first goal as a squirt. Scored at the Cadillac Fall Freeze event up in Cadillac, of course. I was fortunate enough to be there as Carlander joins the rush, sends it to Moss, a shot, and a save by DeCoster, loose puck, and it's covered up by the spinning Gabe DeCoster between the pipes for Christian. Moss, I don't know if he was shooting 5-hole or he partially fanned on the shot, but it almost worked. Sometimes the changeup can be just as tough as the fastball. But in that case, DeCoster found a way to hold it out. You see him spinning around in his crease on the fresh ice. Not a lot of friction there. Not yet. Ten Harmsel changes the angle and got the shot through. Kapinga, though, couldn't get to that loose puck in the slot, and it's hammered all the way down 200 feet by the Eagles. Aaron leaves it there for Ten Harmsel. Galloping ahead out of his own end. Just saw his older brother Liam is in town to watch the game. He's enjoying the life of New England prep school hockey. Kapinga shooting, and he missed the goal. To the right side, Onstadt retrieves the puck off the wall. Half minute to go on the Cougars power play. Moss relays it below the goal line. Kapinga with his back to the net. Now he emerges out at the half wall. Onstadt takes the handoff. Cross-rink delivery away from the rangy Carlander, and it's stripped off Carlander's stick and cleared out by Drew Bierlein, who heads off to the bench for a line change. 5 seconds to go on the advantage. Ten Harmsel's pass hit his skate right to Onstadt, setting it for a shot from Cohen Potter, and he's denied by DeCoster. Good pushover from DeCoster to make the save. And we're back to 5-on-5. Cohen Potter was hiding out there waiting for that pass from Onstadt. Kapinga wheels and shoots, and that's blocked. And out with it come the Eagles. It's Partridge firing into the chest protector of Jacob Aaron, and he melts it down 2 minutes into the second period. So the Cougars are 0 for 2 on the power play. By the way, that power play was brought to you by our Cougars Gold sponsor, Innovia Wealth. Innovia Wealth, Royal Blue sponsors Chris Mack, Fox Motors, Sharp Automotive, 3-in-1 Solutions. Big thanks for supporting the Cougars in season 52 of varsity hockey at Grand Rapids Catholic Central High School. DeYoung leading his man, that's Miles Rubline, who dubs it in deep. Postelli threw up some snow as he stopped on a dime, made the pass up the near wing side. It scoots all the way down for icing, as Rubline was a bit slow to get there. Or pardon, that's Carter Dahlquist. Dahlquist, a fresh face for Christian. Christian lost 3 50-point scores from last year's team. Josh Hooper had 60, actually. Brody Basor, 56, and Cam Loffer, 54. Cam's younger brother, Cash, still on the squad. Also, Braden Malin graduated as Aaron makes a stop on the aforementioned Cash Loffer from an oblique angle near the side of the net. Postelli takes a bump from Fitzgibbon. Up the boards it goes, but not out. Cash Loffer again, digging in behind the goal. DeYoung pinches up. He's got the only goal of this game so far. Postelli deflects it to the corner. Oh, he took a hard hit there from Fitzgibbon again. Those two joust. Couple of Rams locking horns over there on the far side. Postelli one more time. Tried to force it up the wall. That hit a body. Carlander couldn't push it out to center. Instead, it's dealt right back below the goal by Bierlein. Parker Moore. He had a lot of the puck in the first period. He has it again. Angle pass. Moss can't elude the pressure of DeYoung. And Christian just working like coal miners, hacking at it, trying to get the puck into the corners where they're looking to go to work and make plays from there. Cougars clear, but that's icing all the way down again. 13:28 left in the second. Hey, you might as well give the Eagles a pickaxe and a shovel. They're just working hard along the boards. And they're winning the territorial battle so far, for sure, in addition to the battle on the scoreboard. The Cougars are going to try to put together some shifts here and work in the offensive end themselves, as Gage Potter makes a good wheeling pass out to Kate Heminger. Three-man rush, Heminger, feed to the doorstep, score! Onstad, he's got another one. 3 goals in 4 games for the junior defenseman. Onstad, his second year as a Cougar, and he's caught fire offensively. The pass across was deflected, but it still made it to Onstad, and we're tied 1-1 with 13:15 to go in the second. You got to fight for your right to party. Noah Onstad. Don't touch him, he's hot. Heminger the assist. Even strength goal. Catholic Central going back to work. So a defenseman scores for either side. And that's now 4 straight goals scored by Catholic Central by defensemen. Here's Kappinga, though. Closing, shooting. Great stop by DeCoster, who held his ground on the near side post. Kappinga, who scored the first goal for Catholic Central, probably the second goal for Catholic Central on the season. Icing this time against Grand Rapids Christian. Heminger and I believe Gage Potter should get an assist on that play too, to go back and watch the replay, as I usually do between periods. So we'll update you on that one in about, half an hour or so. So Onstad beats DeCoster, and we're tied 1-1. It was Onstad who scored the first goal of the season for Catholic Central in their only previous home game. What became a 6-3 loss to Riverview Gabriel Richard a couple of weeks ago. Cohen Potter firing it across, looking for McLean. And he couldn't put in what would have been his first Catholic Central goal. And point, for that matter. Caleb McLean right there on the left post. Out to the point. Moore, good strong stick to hold it in. He has McLean with him. Moore, though, burrows with it, out by the blue line. Confronted by Bierlein, and he works the puck below the goal. McLean angles it. Moore shooting just off the shoulder of DeCoster. That was a wobbly one. Again, talking about change-ups and fastballs, that was an off-speeder. Cohen Potter flags it down at the red line. Lead pass to McLean. Try to get in behind, dropped it. Jensen put it over the crossbar. Rebound Jensen again, and his backhand didn't get on target. Cohen Potter reaching out, can't quite get the puck as action picks up at Southside. Fitzgibbon ices it, and Potter picks up his stick. Looks like Potter's neck protector is dangling from the back of his jersey. Thought for a minute he had his hair tied up in a bun or something, but didn't think he had locks like that. Only Jensen has got the hockey hair on the Cougars this season, it appears, at least so far. Still time for growth for all involved. It's a 2-game week for the Cougars, both against Rue Division opponents. They'll play Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. The Bird Dogs are 0-4 this season. That'll be on Saturday at Patterson. I'll have the call for you on Cougar Puck Radio. Partridge stripped of the puck, and back to Ains. Oliver Ains turns it away from the fierce pressure of Jensen, and it's on to Partridge. Abbreviated 2-on-1, fed it off, trying to get it back was Partridge, but he had his stick lifted Great job from Pastelli as Jaden Rockwell tried to connect with his former and current teammate, Theo Partridge, excuse me. Theo and Jaden, Partridge and Rockwell both played for Kenowa Hills last year. Ains breaks up the Cougars' attempted attack. And there's Partridge again from the circle, shooting and kicked out by Aaron to the near side wall. Partridge working against Alex Gavorkian. Partridge picks it off high in the zone again. He's all over the puck. Theo Partridge bumped off it by Gavorkian, goes back to the far side again. Over there's Onstadt. Cleared it around. Moss finishes the job as the puck behaves for him. And Moss set sail down the right wing, trying to get around Jonah Mulder, unable to do so. Moss drifted it back. Gavorkian a shot. Oh, loose puck. And scooped up by DeCoster on the rebound try. That appeared to be Carlander who had the opportunity, and it was right at the side of the net. DeYoung in the first period for Grand Rapids Christian. Here in the second, Noah Onstadt answered. And it's 1-1. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Driven around by Ethan Newman. The Cougars choke off that attempted escape. Carlander drifting to the circle. Dropped it off. Dozema closing, shoots, and it's up off the arm of DeCoster. Batted down by Moss and right to Dozema. That's a hand pass, unfortunately, against Catholic Central. What's funny is if that glove pass by Moss ends up hitting the goalie and then dropping to Dozema, it's all okay, but it went right to Dozema, and Catholic Central buzzing, but can't get that second goal from that sequence. Isaac Kappinga gets the assignment at the dot to Aaron's right. The puck comes loose. Beerline trying to snap a shot. Deflected off target. Up high in the zone. Heminger couldn't guide it out of traffic. Ten Harmsel takes over, and he cleared it right up the center. And you can't beat out icing at this level. So Gage Potter, he was there to take it off the end boards, but it doesn't matter. The whistle sounds. Halting play with 9.5 to go in the second. Good goaltending battle tonight so far. DeCoster against Aaron. Sasha Nakoff is the Christian backup. He got the win against Allen Park last week in a 9-1 Christian win. Back out to the point. DeYoung firing. That's deflected into the far corner. Too many bodies and skates and sticks to get it all the way there. Hanging on to it, Tripka. He lets it go. That was blocked again. I think Moore got in the way of that. Moore chases behind the goal. Trying to pick the puck loose. Kappinga will. Off to Potter, and Gage Potter clears. Here's Heminger. Back again on the rush. Poke checked by DeYoung with Ten Harmsel joining the fray. Ten Harmsel gives it over to Kappinga. One-timer stopped by DeCoster, and he holds it for the whistle just about halfway through period number 2. 8:50 to go in the frame, and I think we have a penalty, at least one. It's against Christian for cross-checking. Third power play upcoming for Catholic Central. Prime chance to take their first lead, and DeYoung is again going to the box. This power play brought to you by Crispback. Third opportunity for Catholic Central. Kappinga wins it with the help of Onstadt, who helps it back to the point. Ten Harmsel to Carlander. Slips it right back to Ten Harmsel, who reaches out to keep it alive in the offensive zone. Onstadt rifling it off the pad of DeCoster. Not sure he saw it, but he made the save. Ten Harmsel takes it back. Carlander sped it across, but it's picked off. And watch out, it's Theo Partridge. He's dangerous. Takes on Ten Harmsel, who makes a good stick check to pull that puck away from the on-rushing Eagles forward. Partridge, who already has 6 goals on the year. 10 Harmsel. Feeding it ahead, too far for Onstad. And Onstad takes a heavy hit from Carter Dahlquist right in front of the Eagles bench, and of course the visitors love that. Coach Sean Zimmerman and his staff barking instructions to their penalty kill as Moss turned it over right out in front, and Graham Bean spun at the distance. All the way down it goes. Halfway through the power play. Postelli thought about emerging out on the left side, now tries the right wing. Carlander to his left to Heminger, who's lugging the puck well this period. Here he comes again. In deep, Shripka poked the puck away from his blade. Dozema roughing up Shripka, creating some space for Heminger. Can he get it? He cannot, and it's cleared high off the glass by Dahlquist. The Eagles get a change of their 4 penalty-killing skaters. Postelli under some duress, but he made a good pass. Heminger takes the cross-rink feed from Parker Moore, but he runs into an Eagle, goes tumbling down, but Shripka couldn't hold him away from the puck. Heminger, his pass blocked by Cash Loffer out the center. And that's it for the power play. The Cougars are 0 for 3. Back to 5-on-5. On the re-entry, Dozema in front of the Cougars bench. Right on that yellow kick plate at the bottom of the boards. That's the site of this puck battle. Won by Catholic Central. Moore shooting off a body right to Gage Potter, rifling it, but it's rejected. Blocked by Garrett Majewski. And he goes back for it to the near corner. Under 6.5 to play in the second. Just 1 goal in this period. That's scored by Noah Onstad. On a counterattack, just about 4 minutes into this period. That tied the score. Gage Potter stepping up. Can he take it away? He cannot. Shripka rips it right by him. And no icing. Must have been deflected on the way. Postelli, he's got to lug it out. On his backhand, lunging. Got it past the red line at least, so no icing against the Cougars. Majewski. McLean took it, put it in front for Reynolds, and he's stopped. DeCoster smothered that shot. Remember that save, but the Cougars continue after it. Gavorkian shooting, deflected by Reynolds, and McLean looking for the rebound. He can't get it either. DeCoster has it covered, and we've got sticks and gloves coming up in front of the net. So McLean and Reynolds nearly teaming up a couple of times for a goal in front. Jack Reynolds scored a goal last year in his first varsity season. McLean, as I mentioned earlier, still hunting that first one. Well, he's getting chances. He's coming close. Cohen Potter forces it forward into the Christian end. Deflected lead pass. Partridge takes control, but he's stripped of the puck. Potter pried it toward the middle, but right to an Eagle. That's Rockwell, who's run off the puck by the hard-charging Alex Gavorkian of Catholic Central. And so 10 Harmsel has an avenue through center. 10 Harmsel left it. Cohen Potter ripping the shot, gloved out of the air, was going over the goal, but Gabe DeCoster didn't take a chance. With 5:06 left in the period, he'll gladly take the defensive zone draw. A more sustained offensive attack from the Cougars in this second period compared to the first. And Coach Marchand wants his D to be aggressive. He wants it to be a 5-man unit, connected coming up the ice. Well, it's worked out in one way. Like I mentioned, 4 straight Cougars goals scored by D-men. Now the challenge is to get the forwards in on the act. Gavorkian. Breakout pass. Carlander couldn't get it out. He wanted to find the overlapping Dozema. Catholic Central tries it again. More space for Gavorkian, but he fed it too far for Moss to reach at center. 10 Harmsel. Softly ahead. Intercepted. DeYoung breaks back for Christian. DeYoung pass far side shot. Aaron the save on the opportunity for Cash Loffer on the backside. And Aaron caught it, held it, got the whistle. Good play by Christian, better save from Jacob Aaron. Line change for both sides. It's 1-1, but the action more like a 3-3 game in this second period. We've gone end-to-end a couple of times. And again, the D shall lead them. That was Sam DeYoung leading that rush for Christian. Shot deflected off the glass. Partridge takes it back. Wrister from the point from Majewski. Guided out of play by Aaron. That big paddle of his. He takes a drink of water. I wonder who the first goalie was to put the water bottle on top of the net. That man was an innovator. Postelli takes the puck behind his goal. Scoots it around on his backhand side. Heminger to Onstad. Right back between his legs to Heminger. Looking for Gage Potter, who, like I said, I believe got his first varsity point on that Onstad goal. Secondary assist, triggering the counterattack rush. Flicked away from the Cougars. Out to center in Postelli. Gage Potter, the freshman, digging after it. Loose to Partridge. The Eagles switch play to the far side. Broken up. Capping it. Can he get there ahead of Ains? Well, he'll at least stop the puck there. Potter takes a bump. Cappinga takes over. Backhand pass toward the middle. Intended for Heminger, but swatted away from him. And right on goal, so no icing against the Eagles. Four men, change for Christian. The lone man still out there is Ains. He's got to play the puck over to the far side. Graham Bean spun it down the wall, and that's icing for sure this time against Grand Rapids Christian. .301 remaining in the second. On the draw, Cohen Potter against Cash Loffer. Loffer won it. Hammered around the boards. Looked like a set play for Christian, but Fitzgibbon couldn't handle it on the near wing. And so Catholic Central back on it, forcing the Eagles to come 200 feet with it. Up the middle, Reynolds nearly picked it off, but the puck drifts to Fitzgibbon in some trouble. Potter and McLean all over him. Forces the turnover from the Cougars line. Sent ahead by Gavorkian from beyond the red. Reynolds chopping after it, but again it comes to Fitzgibbon. Diagonal pass, knocked down, in flight by Bierlein. Set up a man going to the goal. That's Loffer, robbed by Aaron from the top of the crease. 2:22 remaining, and Jacob Aaron flexing his goaltending muscle in the middle period, keeping it 1-1. Impressive stuff from the second-year Cougar starter. Taken over where Trent Goheen left off. Goheen, third-year starter for the Cougars. Whack to center, 2-on-1 potentially if Catholic Central hurries. It's Dozema drifting to the outside, tried to center it, but the Christian Eagles caught up on the back check. 10 Harmsel wanted to slip that pass through, couldn't do it, and fended right back out to neutral ice by the Eagles. Onstad regroups, pass to Dozema. Chip in charge. Under 2 to go in the second. Dozema in the corner. He bulldozed one of the Eagles. Constantine Kim. Puck up for grabs still. Dozema and Dahlquist. Joust. Carlander comes out of the pack with the puck. Carlander tried to spin a pass in front. That was blocked down by Ains. And Ains saucers at the distance. Wide of goal. Icing again against Christian. 1:27 to go before the break. Effective play from Catholic Central. Sticking to it. Continuing to grind in the offensive end. They get a change. Capping Gage Potter and Cade Heminger over the boards. Up front, Parker Moore and Morgan Pastelli, the defenseman. Final 90 seconds of the period. One cleanly back to Pastelli. Try to get the shot through. Not a lot of room out high. And Rockwell clears, but again, it goes for an icing call. Christian just getting rid of the puck, but not caring how much speed they're putting on these clearing passes. They're apparently confident they can survive these defensive zone face-offs. 1:17 remaining in the period. At the dot, it's Bean against Cappinga again. Cappinga and the Cougars win the face-off. Moore, heavy pressure at the point, but he turns away from Partridge. Moore along the goal line, sharp angle shot. Fought off by DeCoster, hit him right in the shoulder. 1 minute to go in the period. Back there's Heminger. Beans hanging all over him. Play continues on. Cappinga pulls it loose. Still trouble there, though. He reverses it to the corner. Gage Potter. Potter back to Cappinga. Had his stick lifted, though, by Partridge, and the Eagles clear, but it's over. Skated by Rockwell at center. He ran into Heminger. Cappinga lofts it back down in. Half minute left. Turned over. Here's Gage Potter behind the goal for Catholic Central. Back out high. Cappinga ripping the shot. Didn't get through. Cappinga gets the loose puck again. 20 seconds left. Pivots in the corner. Went down. No penalty. Play continues. Turn toward the side of the net. Heminger centered it out in front. Intercepted. 10 seconds left. Still time left for Christian. Rockwell gets it back from Partridge, but he mishandled in the slot. Cappinga bodies him in the corner, around the boards, near side. Time runs out in the second period of play. So Noah Onstadt scores 4 minutes into the second period. That ties the game. Chances for both sides, but neither team able to get that second goal. We'll go to the third from Southside. On this Thanksgiving Eve, this rivalry matchup is tied 1-1 between Grand Rapids Christian and Catholic Central. Third period on tap from Southside. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. We'll start the third period 5-on-5. Even strength for both sides. And fittingly, we are on level terms on the scoreboard as well. Dozema versus Loffer at the center ice dot with the interlocking C's painted under the ice. The Cougars control the puck. Onstadt, the goal scored for Catholic Central tonight. Turned it up the near side boards. Carlander couldn't clear. Onstadt pressured by Drew Bierlein. He reverses it to Ten Harmsel. Casey Ten Harmsel. Up the far wing, Dozema, the chip pass over the stick of Carlander, who skates in after it. Pursuing with Dahlquist attempting to clear, and Will. Onstadt, the flip up the near side wall. Here's Moss, great cut inside. Oh, he blew it right over the goal. What a move from Cooper Moss. He was well rested after the intermission, can say that much, but he missed the target and the puck ended up deflecting out of play apparently. Lost track of that one. He tried to go top left corner against the goalie Gabe DeCoster, who's wearing the number 35, previously sported by Braden Malin the last 3 seasons. Malin was outstanding. I think the best goalie in the area the last 3 years. He had a .940 save percentage last season. .947 is what he was credited with. Man, that's rather outstanding if that is accurate. There's a caveat. I'm not sure how good the shots on goal totals are, how accurate those are at certain places around the circuit, but if it's anywhere near .950, you're doing all right. Moore drags it into the attacking end, takes a big bump and goes down, but Pastelli keeps the puck in, so Graham Bean got his pound of flush. Shot toward the goal goes in! Did Heminger tip it? I'm not sure, but the Cougars have the lead for the first time tonight. He might have tipped it in. Heminger celebrates at the bench. Gage Potter shot it that way, and it went in. And there be no shelter here. 15:41 to go in regulation, and Catholic Central's on top in this OK-Roo rivalry battle. Another early goal, just like in the second period. Onstadt scored then, and I think Heminger scores now. That same line out there. 2 points tonight for Heminger if that's his goal. Kappinga extracts it out to center. Heminger taps on to Gage Potter, who's looking sharp in his first varsity outings. Offside. Cougars tag up to eliminate the need for the whistle. And the puck is deflected over the short glass on the far wing beyond the Catholic Central bench. We'll wait for the announcement, but here it is. They give it to Heminger. Heminger's first of the season, 7th of his career. Parker Moore gets the secondary assist. Gage Potter gets another assist. 2 points for him, his first 2. Varsity points. Aaron makes the save on the driving DeYoung, who had another chance to add to his goal total this season from the blue line. Sam DeYoung, 3 goals on the year, nearly a 4th, but Aaron swallowed it up from atop his crease. Hacked to the far side by Onstadt. Heminger barely even reacted when that puck went in. I don't think he could tell that it did end up squirting in behind DeCoster. And the puck is shot into the Christian bench. Backup goalie Sasha Nakov got his gloves up to protect himself. So again, Heminger from Gage Potter and Parker Moore. Just over a minute into the third. And Catholic Central can see the finish line. Gevorkian handing. Carlander. Drive off the glass. Rebound. Big rebound. And slugged right through the top of the crease by Onstadt. The puck comes to Carlander. Oh, he tried to pass to Onstadt. He was wide open on the backside. But watch out. Bierlein driving in. Backhand. Saved by Aaron on the breakaway. Jacob Aaron shuts it down. Still 2-1. Carlander, lead pass. He had Moss behind the defense. It's getting loose, and it's getting quick out there. We're going up and down the ice. Potter helped it in deep. Majewski up the near wall. That's Ains. Clears it across. Kim centers right through the crease again. Rockwell mishandled. And a shot from the point by Ains. That's deflected wide off of Bean's body. Graham Bean back behind the goal. 13:41 to go in the third. Christian now trailing for the first time tonight. They've won 3 straight games coming into this one. And the Cougars trying to spoil that. Moore pulls it off the boards for Catholic Central. Dressed in the white jerseys tonight. Moore off the boards, but knocked back in his direction. Ten Harmsel takes over. Does a button hook. Here he comes. Up the boards. Taken out, and that'll be a penalty. Third straight power play. Make it a fourth straight power play for Catholic Central. Ten Harmsel draws this one with 13:06 to go. Tripping is the call against Constantine Kim. And this power play presented to you by Fox Motors. Also proud sponsor of the Fox Motors Hockey Club right here out of Southside Ice Arena. Not sure what the holdup was. Now the puck is dropped. Can the Cougars get a PPG when they really need one? To put some distance between them and the Eagles. Ten Harmsel rips it ahead, apparently ahead of the red line. The Christian coaching staff wanted icing. They didn't get it. And I think the right call was made. I'm right on the red line. Carlander pulls it loose. Rip shot save. Rebound off the Coster. And it's punched wide by Carlander. Moss backing into the corner. Capping on the cycle. Ten Harmsel looks it over to Kappinga, the captain. Ten Harmsel shot deflected by Onstadt in the slot, just missed. Carlander retrieves, but his backhand pass goes off of an Eagle, but right to Moss. Back out top. Onstadt, already a goal in this game. Ten Harmsel feeding into the middle, right under the stick of Moss. Onstadt takes it back. Turned it over to Loffer. Couldn't clear. Onstadt pinned it to the wall. Twists it back. Minute to go on the power play. Capping it at Ten Harmsel. One touch. Back to Kappinga. Closing. Shooting. That's blocked. It hops to the near wall. Carlander surrounds it. Great pass against the grain. Moss rips. Save by DeCoster. Capping out of the corner. Top unit remains out there. They're working the puck around. Ten Harmsel to Carlander. To the middle. Moss shooting. Score! Cooper Moss goes upstairs. DeCoster didn't know where the puck was. Moss buries the PPG, and it's 3-1 Catholic Central. And he is master of his domain. Moss's second goal of the year, both on special teams. One shorthanded, one on the power play. And if you like good man advantage play, that had to be satisfying to watch. That was outstanding. That top unit had to be pretty tired too, but when you have the puck, it's funny how you can keep your energy a little bit better than if you're chasing the thing around on the penalty kill. And I'm not sure, DeCoster, did he get tied up with someone or did he just lose track? Reynolds closes. Centered for McLean, went right by him. Shot from Parker Moore from the right dot, and he missed it high. Carlander gets the assist on the goal by Moss. Probably add another one. Upon look at the replay, Constantine Kim forced it toward the front. Reynolds clears on his backhand side. Down the boards comes Carter Dahlquist. Coughed it up, broken up. Here comes McLean trying to get by Ains, and Ains wedged him off the puck with a strong body check. Deflected to center. Gavin Den Herter gets to it. for Christian, hammers it ahead, goes off for a line change. So Carlander gets a point, his first of the season. He's got 21 points for his career now, does Carlander. And Cooper Moss has 19 goals as a Cougar. Like I mentioned, 2 on the season. And Catholic Central 1 for 4 on the power play. They do get that key conversion. Icing against Grand Rapids Christian. 3 unanswered goals from the Cougars. 1 in the second, 2 so far in the third. Onstadt, Heminger, and Moss. The capping a line back over the boards from Coach Marchand. Ten Harmsel flags the puck down out by the blue line. Hammers it in deep. Potter jammed off the puck by DeYoung. Cappinga trying to cut inside, get to that good ice. Has it poked off his stick, got it back, shot it to Coster the save. Loose puck Heminger. On it like a dog on a bone. Back to Ten Harmsel, shot blocked. And watch out, Partridge a breakaway. Partridge right in, and he's stopped. I think Aaron got a piece of that. Under 10 minutes to go, and Theo Partridge denied, making it a 3-2 game. It remains a 2-goal Catholic Central advantage. Potter downshifts over the blue line. Chipped it to DeYoung's corner. DeYoung up the far boards. Partridge whips the pass. On the line to Rockwell. Off the stick of Loffer. Ten Harmsel to it. Short pass to Heminger, right ahead, Gage Potter. Finesses it wide of the goal. Majewski to Ains. Near side for Rockwell, backhand got through Conan, but Pastelli picks it up at center ice. Flips in after it. The Cougars are onside. They tagged up just in time. And they get a partial change of lines. Burkmeyer couldn't get it through. Jensen shooting, and I think that was blocked. Jensen again. That one's definitely blocked by the hulking Fitzgibbon, who runs right through the equally hulking Levi Jensen. 2 biggest men on the ice come together. Redirected ahead, just wide of the Cougars' goal. Action stays fast and furious. Half a period to go. Cougars lead by 2. Scooted through center by Burkmeyer, and that'll go just wide of the net. That's an icing call. So Noah Burkmeyer, Levi Jensen sniffing their first varsity points. Can't quite get it to go, but they do their job. Every second you spend in the offensive zone is a second you don't have to spend defending. And I'm convinced after 30 years of watching hockey, that's the best way to defend, is keep the puck. Bouncing puck toward the front, and Aaron says, here's a way to defend too, as he holds on for the face-off. 8:16 remaining. Dozema at the dot against Kim. Dozema controls the face-off. Feels like Catholic Central's had a good night at the dot. Hard to tell without official stats, but here's Dozema tapping it to himself down the right wing boards. He's got Carlander driving into the middle, and his pass goes right under the stick of Carlander. Handcuffed him a bit. Moss one hands it along, but it's off a Christian stick. Play broken up at center. Good job from Carlander to win the puck back, but he shot it in from behind the red line, so that'll be icing against Catholic Central. 7:47 remaining. One thing I'm missing on this audio mixer, bit of equipment, is a cough button. And I've used the metaphorical cough button a couple times tonight. Great to be back on the call, but just not quite 100% yet. Right toward the front, Aaron, he's 100%. He makes 2 saves, and he hangs on to the puck again. As Partridge and Rockwell hunting another goal, but they can't connect. Cappinga against Bean at the face-off dot. Cappinga wins it. And those face-offs in your own end, so crucial. Right on goal, the errant pass goes. DeCoster has to swat it along to Dahlquist. Handed it over. The shot from Gage Potter missed everything. But Moore pinches up. Kapinga covers for him at the left side. And if the D are going to be more aggressive, the forwards have to be more aware in those situations. The Cougars were that time and have been for the most part tonight without many mistakes. Gage Potter exchanging blows as Kapinga tucked it toward the front of the net that hit a skate. Otherwise, Potter might have had a tap in. I don't know who that was for Christian. They had lost their stick. I think it was Dahlquist, who does have his blade back. To Rockwell, into the middle. Graham Bean, long shift for this line for Christian. And on cue, they do execute the line change. Although Partridge is still out there. Couldn't duck by the checking of Moore. Ripped in by Kapinga. Back in the possession of Theo Partridge. Controls a bouncing puck. 6.5 minutes left. Partridge, who missed on a breakaway earlier this period. Gavorkian lost control to Partridge. Centered for Rockwell. Bounced off his stick as the Cougars rallied to the cause. Lofted by Reynolds over the head of McLean. It's icing again against the Cougars. Another mention to our Cougar-level sponsors, BMD Capital Partners, Burn Tool and Design, SRS Building Products, Moore & Sons Roofing, and Horizon Bank. They, along with our Gold and Royal Blue sponsors, help make another season of Catholic Central hockey possible. Hockey is not a cheap sport, as you well know. Backhand by Lawfer, blocked by Morgan Pastelli. Fitzgibbon turns it toward the net, and Pastelli blocked that one too. The goalie in front of the goalie, Morgan Pastelli, out to center. Reynolds on it. Trying to get by Shripka, and does. Reynolds looking to center. Potter on the puck behind the goal as he swirls out from behind. Gavorkian pushed it down the wall, intercepted. Shripka connects on to Fitzgibbon. Long shot. Easy save, Aaron, but a loose puck in the middle. Gavorkian swats the rebound away. Potter gets over there. That's Cohen Potter. Lassoed by Molig. Excuse me, that's Den Herter, rather. His shot goes off Pastelli. 3 blocks on the shift. Den Herter stuffs it toward Aaron. Aaron makes the save. Cougars clear, and it's not far enough for icing, crucially. Full 5-man change for Catholic Central. Can they get their first home win of the season? Moore kicks it to his stick. Moore trying to run the gauntlet. Couldn't get all the way through. Dozema holds at the blue line. Morris shot. Oh, that was a high riser, but it was blocked by Dahlquist in the slot. Dozema hoists it off the corner boards. Penalty coming up. And I think it's against Catholic Central. It'll be their first since the first period. So Christian's about to get a power play. Dumped in by Constantine Kim. Touched by Onstad on the far wall. And with 4:35 remaining in regulation, Catholic Central will go short. It was getting physical on the side boards, far side, in the Christian end. And Dozema gets nabbed for roughing. Christian coach Sean Zimmerman not calling a timeout. He still has it at his disposal. Christian's 0 for 1 on the power play, but they don't have a power play since 4 minutes into this game. Cleared by Catholic Central. Heminger on the chase. DeCoster intentionally punched it behind his net, right into the path of DeYoung, who has the only Christian goal. DeYoung got around Onstad. Caught up to his own dump-in, trying to center it out in front. Drew Bierlein knocked it right back to DeYoung. The rangy D-man off the Partridge, trying to go short side shelf, and he missed it high. DeYoung laterally to Partridge, redirected, low slot. Kapinga couldn't juggle it and clear it as he got his body in front of that one. Partridge centering, chance, Lawfer, Aaron pounces on top of it. With that huge frame, he gave Lawfer nothing to shoot at from the low slot. Jacob Aaron coming into his own tonight. Not that he hasn't been there already, but just the one goal allowed in the last 2 games. Catholic Central aiming for its first conference win of the year as well. Timeout called by Grand Rapids Christian. Again, with 3:49 remaining in the third. Recapping the scoring in the first, Grand Rapids Christian got the opening goal with 7:12 to go in the period. Defenseman Sam DeYoung powered a shot through traffic that deflected under Jacob Aaron's pads. Drew Beerline the lone assist. Christian led 1-0 at the first break. Catholic Central scored the only goal of the second period. Noah Onstadt finishing off a 3-man rush. Cade Hemminger's pass got tipped, but it still made it through to Onstadt at the inner edge of the left circle. He beat Gabe DeCoster with a one-time shot. His third goal of the year in 4 games for the junior D-man. Hemminger and Gage Potter the assists with 13:14 to go in the second period. We were tied. Here in the third, as you might guess, 2 goals scored by Catholic Central to take command. Cade Hemminger, a deflection of Gage Potter's sideboard shot. Parker Moore gets an assist on that. That was 1 minute and 18 seconds into the frame at even strength. And then a power play goal. Cooper Moss scoring into a half-open net off the setup from Carson Carlander. The goalie DeCoster got either tangled up or confused where that puck was passed, and all Moss had to do was hit the open side, and he did for his second goal of the year. That was with 11:34 to play. Now just 3:49 left, and a second power play of the night for Christian. Out of the timeout, DeYoung drifts centrally. Pass it off, Partridge shooting. Pad saved by Aaron. Right back to the point. Sam DeYoung stick handling. Moss pressuring at the top of the spear, penalty killing wise. And this PK brought to you by 3-in-1 Solutions. Pushed toward the middle by DeYoung, intercepted by Moore. Moss ushers it out to center. That's all it takes right now. 47 seconds remaining on this power play. Theo Partridge, the Kennewa Hills forward, centers it right under the stick of Cash Loffer in the slot. Partridge running it from the right half wall. DeYoung, shot, blocked in front. Loffer turned it on goal. Denied by Aaron. Pardon, that was Beerline, actually. Loffer was around, too. And a bad pass out to the blue by Graham Bean. DeYoung couldn't catch it. He's got to go back for it. All the way back behind his own net. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Jackson Dozema of Catholic Central. One more rush for Partridge and company. He digs in behind the goal. Power play is over. 2:30 left. Cross-rink delivery by Shripka. Out to the point. Shot toward goal. Weakened on the way. Aaron has it covered with the glove as Graham Bean forced it through traffic. 2:26 to play. Next game coming up for Catholic Central. We'll have it for you on Cougar Puck Radio. That's on Saturday against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern from Patterson. And that'll be, I believe, an afternoon start. Have to confirm the time on that one. As Ten Harmsel parades back for it. He's got it surrounded. Up to Hemminger. Didn't connect. But right now, the Cougars are just glad to keep the puck away from their goal. Out of the corner, Morgan Pastelli. Coming off that shift in which he blocked 3 shots. Cappinga hooks it in Ten Harmsel's direction. That's a 3 o'clock start on Saturday. Finally tracked down that. Still figuring out the new game sheet interface on the Michigan High School Hockey Hub online. I do like it, though, because we've got the live box rolling for you. Did not have that under the previous technological regime, if you will. Postelli handles, shoots it, deflected. Carlander trying to bank it in from behind the goal. Couldn't get it to go. 1:15 left. Rush chance back for Graham Bean. Couldn't get the shot through. Great defending from Parker Moore. Net is empty. Gabe DeCoster's on the bench. 6-on-5 in favor of Christian. Trying to get at least one back to make it interesting in the final minute. DeYoung cradling and shooting over the goal. Comes loose to Partridge. Whiffed on the shot. Cleared off the far boards by Heminger. Down it goes. And on the chopped up ice, it's not going to go far enough for icing. It all works out for the Cougars. Cash Loffer. One-on-one against Onstad. Passing it toward the front. Picked off there by Moore. Comes to Onstad. Lead pass looking for Dozema. Carlander kicks it along. Driven back in deep by Christian. That's an icing. And the Cougars get an offensive zone faceoff coming up. Cattell Onstad thought about shooting for the empty net from 150 feet out. Instead, he decided to be unselfish. Tried to guide it to Dozema and or Carlander. Didn't work out, but ended up forcing the Christian icing. Dozema going straight forward and got a shot off against DeCoster, who, you guessed it, is back in net. Carlander off the boards, 18 seconds to go. Onstad, another shot from the point. Save DeCoster. He's flopping around. Got a save on the Carlander shot. Deflected toward the crease. And swatted out by the Eagles. That close to a fourth. Back down to Noah Onstad's corner. And fittingly, he has the final touch. Cougars win. Cougars win. Onstad scores his third of the season. Heminger and Moss connect in the third period to provide the decisive tallies. 3-1 your final. Catholic Central beats Christian in their annual Thanksgiving Eve turkey tussle. Thanks for watching on Cougar Puck Radio. Catholic Central now 2-2 on the season, heading into Saturday afternoon's tilt against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern that we'll have on the channel as well. Christian has its 3-game winning streak ended. The Eagles are 3-2 and 1-1 against OK Roo Division opponents. The Cougars have their first win against a league foe. Jacob Aaron outstanding tonight, didn't get the shutout, but boy was he phenomenal as well for a second straight game. Enjoy the feast and the festivities over the next couple of days, folks, and I'll talk to you on Saturday across town at Patterson. One last time, your final score. Catholic Central 3, Grand Rapids Christian 1, as the two sides will finish up their yearly battle with a prayer at center ice. So I'll leave the camera trained on center circle as the two teams go about that very important business. And I'll say good night, God bless, and have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you on Saturday.